Hello, I'm going to show you how to do this basic basket weave pattern. It's a surface decoration, very effective, just done with one carving tool. Here it is. It's a simple double beveled wood carving chisel. So make sure you've got a sharp, very sharp edge and you've got your corners. But this one tool, you can do this effect, and there's lots of ways of making this pattern work. I'm just going to show you on the flat, and you can adapt it to various projects. I've made a project out of this candlestick. It's a turned column, slightly tapered. And I've been able to, when I turn it, make cuts in here that really help the carving. If you don't have a lathe, then perhaps you do know somebody who has a lathe, and of course you don't have to make it anything like as big. You can make this small, reduce the pattern. This has been finished in beeswax and given what are called milk paints down the bottom. And I wanted to show you this one. This one's made by Carrie about 18 months ago. And the little petals here are made using the cut that you'll find in the tree box videos. But I wanted to show you because of the darkness. This, I hope you can see this, is a lot darker than this. Exactly the same wood, from the same tree in fact. But this is newly waxed and it's quite light, but I expect it to actually go this dark colour eventually. Anyway, it's a bit of fun. I hope you enjoy it. Very simple, quite precise. You know, you need to be able to make the same cut over and over again. But when you do, you get this wonderful effect. As always, you want to do a practice piece first, and this is my little bit of practice. I've tried different angles of cut, and I've tried cross grain and with the grain, and here I've even left a little bit in the middle that forms a sort of stick going through the weave. I'll show you how I did it. I'm holding it on the bench, this piece of nice carving wood. I'm holding it on the bench with a Veritas, I think they're called a pup, and there's a dog at the other end here, and you wind this thing in so between the two, and that's a really nice easy way of holding carvings, relief carvings and so on. You do need holes in the bench, but there it is, nice and secure. So here's my chisel, and I'm going to take a width with this pair of dividers being slightly over the width. I've got a square angle here on this piece of wood, so that really helps me. So I'm going to start with a line this way and a line this way. So what I'm doing is I'm going to mock up a grid basically. So I know this is the width of my tool this way, so I can step it off this line like so, and I can also step it off this line here. And then I can mark these down here. Putting my pencil in the little compass point there, bringing it up, dropping in the point, bringing it up, dropping down. And if all's gone well, this should be on the pretty much on the edge of the chisel. Then I do the same this way. So I've got my squares. I've got my lines drawn out now. The grain of this wood goes in this direction, so the fibres are lying along here. So we have two scenarios, one of which is the weave is going across this, these fibres, and the other way in which it's going along the fibres. So I'll show you both here. Looking at it going with the grain for the moment, so that the weave is going in this direction. What's actually going to happen, it's probably easy if I just show you this here, is if you imagine that I take out every other one on this row and then stagger it on this row, you can see where the weave is going, and you need to sort that out very clearly. Anyway, so let's start. We put a stop cut here where the weave goes, and it might be that this is okay in softwood, but going across the grain like this, we need to put a mallet. So every other one on the line like this. And then on the next row, we're halfway. Like so. And then you'd continue that down. And it's a good idea to do the same movement each time with the same tool, and then you're consistent. Now with the grain, what's going to happen is I'm going to come along the grain like so and take a little nick out here. And if all's gone well, this should sort of pull out. Now our decision is how much of a nick we take out. Do we take a little nick out, like this? Or do we take a big nick out? And that's a choice you need to make. Let's do it on this side here, so do it on this way there. So there's our first strap going across like that. I think it's important to tidy up as you go along, so that as you work your way down the pattern, you don't have to come back and finish off things. And you're left with this nice little facet here that catches the light. So that's working with the grain. But what about if we have to go across it? Well, it's a slightly different process. Let's say we're going to weave in this direction here. So we would be missing one there, and so on, just as I did before. Now when you put your tool in like so, that's an easy one compared with going across the grain. But let me just show you over here. If you do this cut like that, without any side cut, you'll tear the wood out on either side. So what you have to do in this case is you have to make a little cut here, as if you're going down to the bottom of that groove and along the line, and back this way, like this. So that when you take this out, this wood out here, and you want a really sharp tool for this, you're not tearing across the side. So I'd have to come this way into the camera, so I won't do that for the moment, but I will say that I would do all these cuts in the same at the same time. So I've done that one like this. Then excuse me, I would do all this cut here exactly the same, keeping that consistency. And then I do all this cut in this direction, possibly even turning the work round, so that I've got a consistent movement each time. And that's the secret of a lot of mouldings as well. So then I would do this cut, possibly not in one big stroop, but I might do it in two cuts, and rolling down, and then I'd come in this direction here, but for that I'll have to turn the work around. So I'll come in the opposite direction like so. Then this junction down the bottom, again you want to make sure that's tidy each time. So from the centre, just rolling down in between the cuts. And then making sure that's tidy at the bottom. So that's essentially it. That's one simple tool making one simple cut. So let me just now apply this to a project like a candlestick.